What is the most dangerous information that you know?
Oh boy. They're going to hoax an alien threat, and it's all a lie. So we are actually in the last year at the point where they've started on that plan.
Tonight, we're looking at some government-filed TikToks that prove that aliens exist. Welcome back, family. Thank you to all the channel members for support. If you're seeing this right now, remember to like, subscribe, hype the video up so it gets pushed to more people. Let's go.
So what exactly are we dealing with here? This technology is thousands of years ahead of us, and I don't think you quite understand what we're really up against. We recently had another UAP hearing in September 2025. Guess that's just a yearly thing now, where US House representatives, former and active military personnel, and other government whistleblowers once again testified before Congress under oath, which means if they're lying, they go to jail. Stakes are high. And they really spilled the tea on this one, which our mainstream news just refuses to cover. And I'm warning you, this might be a little disturbing, because they revealed how insanely advanced these UAPs really are, making our modern day military technology look like sticks and stones in comparison. If these things decide they don't like us, we are so cooked. With active duty Navy officers speaking on countless reports of flying objects coming out of the ocean and moving in ways and at speeds that defy physics. We've heard all that before, but this is the video from the hearing that everyone was talking about and no one has been able to explain it, showing POV footage from an MQ-9 drone tracking an unknown orb moving at ridiculous speeds off the coast of Yemen on October 30th, 2024. This is what an MQ-9 drone is, by the way, basically a remote-controlled airplane. And while it's tracking this orb, another MQ-9 drone off-screen fires a Hellfire missile towards it. For reference, this is what a Hellfire missile looks like in action. Yeah, it does some damage. But strangely enough, when the missile makes contact with the orb, it kinda just bounces right off and continues on without detonating. And the orb itself just kinda loses balance for a bit while continuing to travel at these high speeds. But the really weird part is this debris that appears to have fallen off the orb from the missile impact that just continues to travel alongside the orb at these same insane speeds, which some are attributing to some form of advanced magnetic or gravitational technology that holds all pieces of the craft together even when they're separated. After wobbling for a bit, the UAP regains control and goes right back to cruising along, flicking away a military-grade Hellfire missile like a fly and going along like nothing even happened. This is more than a little concerning. If our cutting-edge military technology can't stop what's probably just a recon drone, what's gonna happen when they bring in the whole fleet? Our military has known this for decades, and it's why they didn't want this information public. They have no idea how to defend against these, and admitting that to the world would likely cause mass panic. The panel also held George Knapp, a known ufologist who admits he has heard of these incidents before, but this was his first time actually seeing it on video, and also says that all the UAP videos that have been made public so far are just the tip of the government's full archive, and what they're not showing us is far more terrifying than anything we've seen so far. Knapp goes on to explain a classified Soviet incident that happened in 1982 where UFOs popped up over an ICBM missile base in Russia, where they hovered around the base, split apart, fused together, and a bunch of other crazy maneuvers for over 4 hours. When all of a sudden, the launch control codes for the ICBM missiles at that base lit up, meaning they were engaged and ready to launch. And the only way to do so is if you had the codes, which are supposed to be top secret. No one at the base authorized this, and the Soviet officers also couldn't shut it down. They panicked for a bit, not sure what to do, but eventually the UAPs left and the missiles disengaged. A technical internal post-analysis of this event didn't find any errors or malfunctions at the facility on this day, which means these UFOs can control our planet's missile defense systems whenever they want, and there was nothing we could do about it. It almost came off as a sort of message from them, like, hey yo, this is what we can do, don't f with us. And so we proceeded to f with them. As we see in this thermal image video that came out a few years ago, this one wasn't from the recent hearing, where a swarm of unknown glowing orbs showed up outside a military base in Afghanistan in 2011, which were also shot at by missiles, except these were completely unaffected. They just ate the missiles like they were nothing and remained perfectly still. No one can explain how they did this. These orbs are like indestructible. When switching to standard vision, we see the orbs glowing, pulsating in pink, orange, and yellow, moving in formation at extraordinary speeds. And we have no idea what these were. And again, these are just the videos that have been released or leaked to the public. As mentioned in the hearing, the vast majority of the videos are still hidden and highly classified, and apparently much more concerning than anything we've seen so far. With even more official Air Force testimonies who reveal seeing a massive football field-sized triangular UAP that appeared in the sky above a critical launch site before shooting off at impossible speeds. Just try to imagine aircraft larger than a football field hovering completely silent above your head and then zipping away faster than our physics allows. These are real testimonies by real military personnel. We have no idea what in the fuck we're up against here. And the most disturbing part is when Air Force veteran Dylan Borland revealed how they actively silenced and threatened him from talking about what he saw. That after he reported the UAP sightings he witnessed at Langley Air Force Base in 2012, the higher in commands intentionally tried to ruin his life, experiencing professional sabotage, explicitly being told not to speak of what he saw, getting harassed by supervisors, and denial of future work opportunities, creating a stigma of being crazy around anyone who speaks out about this to discredit the sightings and prevent this information from being made public knowledge. These UAP hearings give us the transparency and the witness protection to the whistleblowers so that we, the people, can know what is happening. And to the best of our knowledge, these UAPs are not ours or anyone's on this planet. No visible propulsion system, no fuel tanks, no wings, rotors, or tails, and we have no idea how they fly or operate. And now they're apparently indestructible as well, and the fact that they're not retaliating is almost even more concerning. Like, are they waiting for something? Are they just that friendly that they don't care when we shoot missiles at them? Or are they gonna wake up one day and decide they don't like us?
I think instead of missiles, we should 100% try lasers. I feel like lasers would work way better.
Hell no! Oh, hell no! What the fuck is happening, bro? Hey, we out of this hole! We out of this hole! We out of this hole!
1st of January, 2024. A large force of police officers surrounded one of the shopping centers in Miami. All the people panicked. As various information was published by the media, members of local gangs start fight in the shopping center. Other sources said a group of children used fireworks at the mall. But after some time, a more mysterious version spread, and there was a witness from the shopping center itself. There was people who panic when they see several dark, 10 feet high creatures.
I was watching this documentary today. It's a new James Fox documentary about a UFO landing in Brazil in 1996. Holy shit, it's incredible. I had no idea that there's a city called Varginha in Brazil, and in 1996, according to everyone who was there, according to medical records of people who were there, they blocked off, the military came in, cordoned off the area, they recovered a crashed UFO. And there was living creatures that people came in contact with, and one of them was this tiny little thing that this guy carried, and he carried it to wherever they were going to examine it. And when he carried it, he got whatever was on its skin. It had like a slippery kind of skin. It got into his body and infected him, and he wound up with this horrible general infection. He wound up dying. His body shut down. His immune system shut down. His body didn't know what the fuck to do with this alien thing that he was interacting with. There's real records of this guy contacting this thing, grabbing it, carrying it in. All these people witnessed it, and then this guy winds up with this insane infection shortly thereafterwards. That's all documented too, all of his medical records.
Now this video footage has been going crazy viral. Just yesterday, a UFO sighting has stunned alien experts as it hangs above the capital city of Pakistan for about 2 hours in broad daylight. One eyewitness said, "I filmed it for 12 minutes at different times, took dozens of pictures and observed it for the best part of 2 hours. To the naked eye, it seemed like a black round rock, but as I zoomed in, I could see that it was roughly the shape of a triangle with a clear bulge on the top towards the back. It was solid black and had no sharp edges. As of yet, no one really knows what the hell this thing is."
I said, "Do you have religion?" And they said, "Religion? Isn't that something that's created by man? Do we have faith?" "Yes, we have faith." "Do we believe that there is that which you call God?" "We accept that based on our science." It's no longer a faith-based idea that there is a creator, that which you call God. That truly is. "Do you believe in life after death?" "Yes, they do. They even have means to communicate with their loved ones. It's not some parlor trick. They really have the means to do it. But there are forbidden questions that you can't ask about what happens after death. Otherwise, you ask that, you're cut off immediately.
My first thought is, how the hell you as a human communicate with aliens? Like, is it some telepathic power? Or do you just speak English and he's just like, yeah, bro, like, I don't know, like, you know, like, I just don't really believe.
Sir, he doesn't have much time. All right, okay, finally, tell me, what is this other threat?
Well, I guess he just gave me the answer to my previous question about how do we communicate with aliens, because he was just speaking English, apparently. What I will say, though, is that if that's a real video or not, he's not lying about AI taking over, and then we're just going to be put in an infinite universe of pleasure, and then our whole race just go completely extinct. I wouldn't be surprised.
Thousands saw this clip and believed that 12-foot-tall aliens are roaming the area. But what really happened in that Miami mall that night? On January 1st, 2024, just after midnight, chaos erupted outside the Bayside Marketplace in Miami, Florida. Official reports say it was just a fight between a group of 50 to 60 teenagers causing chaos, which involves fireworks. The internet wasn't convinced. Multiple people who were at or near the Bayside Marketplace that night claimed they saw something not human.
Everybody was nosy. And as soon as it started popping, this thing started glowing, and it started going like a force field. Woo, 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 woo. Started glowing, and it looked like somebody put a foot out like that. And then somebody put a hand out like that. And then all you see was this. All you see was like this, an image like that. That's all I seen. This was all glowing, so it was bright.
Eyewitnesses described tall, shadowy figures, standing anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall, with glowing eyes and unusual movement, as if they were gliding or sprinting unnaturally fast. Some said the beings were black, featureless shapes, almost like cloaked figures, while others swore they saw them standing on rooftops or moving between cars in the parking lot. Several videos captured during the chaos seemed to show distorted silhouettes or figures flashing past the camera, which only fueled the belief that something otherworldly had appeared that night. While none of these claims were officially verified, the consistency in descriptions across dozens of unconnected social media posts is what made the conspiracy take off. TikTok, X, and Reddit are flooded with slowed-down footage, color-adjusted frames, and users claiming to have enhanced the clips to reveal something inhuman. In some, you can almost make out a tall silhouette. In others, it's just shadows and chaos. But that didn't stop thousands from stitching their own theories, calling it everything from a government experiment to an interdimensional breach. Interestingly, none of the eyewitnesses knew each other, yet their descriptions were strangely similar. That's what made the internet latch on. It didn't feel like a prank. It felt like something had happened, something strange enough that the official explanation didn't quite cover it. Skeptics argue it's a classic case of mass hysteria amplified by social media. One person misinterprets a shadow, says alien, and within minutes, a dozen others think they saw it too. Mix in shaky camera footage, the adrenaline of a New Year crowd, and the dramatic police response. And suddenly, the narrative writes itself.
I'm not gonna lie, my first thought is as soon as the alien stepped out of the portal, right, it sees everyone, running away. As soon as the cop pulls up, why did it just disappear? Like, bro just popped up, said, yo, what's going on, guys? Everyone starts running away, so they just disappeared.
When did things get weird? When did you realize, like, at what point in time did you say, hey, this is not normal work? Like, this doesn't even seem like it's from this planet.
That, I can't tell you what day that occurred on because so much time has gone by. The days have kind of fused into one, and I can't separate the days.
Was it a slow burn, or was there a moment of recognition?
Well, the first inkling I had was when I came in. There's this facility that is at S4. It's in the side of a mountain. And normally we had pulled in with the bus and gone around the front through a normal double door. This time that I went in, there were hangar doors open. I went in through the hangar door, and in the hangar door was the disc, the flying saucer that I worked on. I saw it sitting there, and we walked by it. It had a little American flag stuck on the side, and I thought, oh my God, this finally explains all the flying saucer stories. This is just an advanced fighter, and this is fucking hilarious.
Right.
So I went by, I slid my hand alongside it. I got reprimanded immediately for touching the thing. And there was a guy, an armed guard, that followed us in and just said, keep your eyes forward and your hands at your side and just walk in the door. So that was the first time I had seen anything that was weird. It was some time later that I was introduced to my my lab partner, Barry. And we had some of the subcomponents of the craft in the lab. And Barry was very anxious to get a new lab partner. So he was very talkative and couldn't wait to show me different things. And it was in the demonstration of the reactor working where it caught my attention to where this is technology that doesn't even exist. So, I mean, that was the first time I knew that this is really something different.
What was it? What was it? What was it about this reactor that made you think that it didn't exist? technologically?
Well, it was I actually have to back up because there were some briefings that I read it before that certainly gave me the impression that this was going to be a weird job, but this was the first hands-on thing. This was a small reactor about the size of a hemisphere, about the size of a basketball, on a metal plate, and when it was running, it produced a gravitational field of its own. Now, this is something that we can't do.
High government officials disclosing extraterrestrials. Paul Hellyer.
Paul Hellyer, former Minister of Defense of Canada, and he believes that life forms from space exist and are present on Earth. Why do you say that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying over our heads?
Well, because I know that they are. And they've been, as a matter of fact, they've been visiting our planet for thousands of years. And one of the cases that would interest you most, if you give me 2 or 3 minutes to answer, is during the Cold War, 1961, there were about 50 UFOs in formation flying south from Russia across Europe. And the Supreme Allied Commander was very concerned and about ready to press the panic button when they turned around and went back over the North Pole. So they decided to do an investigation, and they investigated for 3 years, and they decided that with absolute certainty that 4 different species at least, had been visiting this planet for thousands of years. So that's we have a long history of UFOs, and of course there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades since we invented the atomic bomb, and they're very concerned about that and the fact that we might use it again. And because the whole cosmos is a unity, and it affects not just us but other people in the cosmos, they're very much afraid that we might be stupid enough to start using atomic weapons again, and this would be very bad for us and for them as well.
Alright, unity consciousness I can somewhat agree with. Like his explanation of why he believes these aliens are here and how they're coming to us and trying to be like, yo, chill with these nukes because it can mess everything up. I can genuinely see how that's possible. So in my opinion, what he just said holds substantial weight.
High government officials disclosing extraterrestrials. Haim Eshed,
the former head of Israel's space program, Haim Eshed, who says that aliens have been in contact with the US and with Israel, and they are hiding their presence because mankind is not yet ready. What does he refer to? The Galactic Federation that he says has been in touch with Israel and the US. He also says that Donald Trump was going to reveal their existence, but then basically got talked out of it, I suppose. Here was his quote. He says, Trump was on the verge of revealing that aliens existed, but the aliens in the Galactic Federation are saying, wait, let people calm down first. They don't want to start mass hysteria. They want to first make us sane and understanding.
Yeah, and look, he's 87 years old. According to him, he says he has nothing to lose. He's a decorated former Israeli general, former space security chief. He's been awarded a medal 3 separate times, 2 secretly, for actions that kept Israel safe. Clearly somebody who was regarded well by that government. Now, what he's saying is kind of crazy. He says that the cooperation there's a secret pact between the US government and the Galactic Federation, that the cooperation includes a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
So I just found a list of all the most outrageous documents the government has kept a secret from us until recently, and here are some of the best. The United States blatantly stealing a satellite from Russia in 1967, Project MKUltra, the FBI's Bigfoot investigation that was inconclusive, confirmation of Operation Paperclip, the secret spies the US had during the Cold War in Alaska who were just fishermen watching out for Russian paratroopers, the 1960s plan to build a moon base, and my favorite, 1983 trained cat soldiers that was a multi-million-dollar project for spying on the Soviets. But after quite a few tests in one mission, they shut it down because the cats were really hard to train. Comment what you'd like to hear more about.
That's actually really hilarious. I could just imagine training cats, because cats don't care about what humans got going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a cat, you know, you could literally be calling the cat, petting the cat, being like, yo, what's up, hi? And the cat literally doesn't care about you. He'll just look at you and be like, yo, leave me alone, and just dip. But I can only imagine how it feels training a cat.
They also found a live alien. That live alien was named Eva, and he was transported to, it was a male, was transported to Los Alamos, where he lived out his life. He died in 1952. But during that time period that he was with us, he told us a plethora of information about what they have learned about the universe and what their technology is. Their technology is probably estimated to be about 50,000 years ahead of us.
The US government has photographic evidence that aliens exist.
The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability.
For those confused, the US government had a hearing essentially confirming that aliens exist today. Now, during this hearing, there was a lot revealed, such as the fact that the government apparently has photographic evidence of aliens They also apparently had a multi-decade program where they collected and tried to reverse engineer crashed UFOs. There's also allegedly been non-human biologics collected by the government, many sightings of strange objects in the sky, and apparently sightings of UFOs are not rare whatsoever and happen essentially every single day. Now there's even more to all this that cannot be discussed in public, but will be further discussed behind closed doors, so I guess we may or may not ever hear about that. But just what we heard today is absolutely mind-blowing. And if all of this is true, that means that the government has been trying to hide all of this from us for decades.
This is hard to believe, and the CIA just left the world a grim message, and the end may be near. People were absolutely terrified that a document has been approved to be released on the CIA.gov website, and it describes a horrific situation in which we may all die. The CIA document describes such horrific attacks as not only unexpected, but a revenge attack sighting that will make your blood freeze. An aircraft had appeared above a military unit in Siberia. It was around the time one of the military personnel was testing missiles and launched one accidentally at the aircraft. It was then described that 5 humanoid-shaped creatures with large heads and black eyes emerged from the aircraft. It was then documented all 5 of them came together and merged into one, causing a huge white light and explosion. And then the 23 soldiers who saw this, they turned into white long poles made of limestone, and only 2 soldiers remained alive. The document states that since this technology exists, it would be extremely worrisome for our planet. So is this a government agent on drugs or real?
Yo, real? If the story is real or if the story is fake, I'm just hoping the aliens don't look nothing like this, dude. This would scare the daylight out of me, bro.
Você consegue captar as vibrações, vem até nós. Só não vem à noite. É. Mano, pior que mexe esquisito demais. Ele parece, sabe aquele lance índio? Essas plásticas grandes. Aquele movimento de índio, um arco e flecha, é o movimento dele. Ó, com o zoom aqui dá pra ver ele se mexendo melhor. O zoom dele é melhor que o meu. E outra coisa, se você for fazer uma comparação, ele é mais ou menos do tamanho daquela árvore lá. Entendeu? Ele é grande. E outra coisa, até o jeito de se movimentar não tá normal.
The treaty stated the aliens would not interfere in our affairs and we would not interfere in theirs. We were particularly interested that they do not interfere with anything that would affect our future, which has been violated. We would keep their presence on Earth a secret. They would furnish us with advanced technology and would help us in our technological development. They would not make any treaty with any other Earth nation. They could abduct humans on a limited and periodic basis for the purpose of medical examination and monitoring of our development, with the stipulation that the humans would not be harmed, would be returned to their point of abduction, that the humans would have no memory of the event, and that the alien nation would furnish MJ-12 with a list of all human contacts and abductees on a regularly scheduled basis. And this is not being done. It was agreed that each nation would receive the ambassador of the other for as long as the treaty remained in force. It was further agreed that the alien nation and the United States would exchange 16 personnel each to the other with the purpose of learning each of the other. The alien guests would remain on Earth and the human guests would travel to the alien point of origin for a specified period of time, then return, at which point a reverse exchange would be made. I have no knowledge whatsoever of what happened to those original 16 humans who left the Earth with the aliens. It was also agreed that bases would be constructed underground for the use of the alien nation and that 2 bases would be constructed for the joint use of the alien nation and the United States government. The base at Dulce is one, the base at S4 in the area known as Area 51 or Dreamland is the second. Exchange of technology would take place in the jointly occupied bases. These alien bases would be constructed under Indian reservations in the 4 corners of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona, and one would be constructed in Nevada in the area known as S4, located approximately 7 miles south of the western border of Area 51, otherwise known as Dreamland. All alien areas are under complete control of the Naval Department, and all personnel who work in these complexes receive their checks from the Navy. Construction of the bases began immediately, but progress was slow until large amounts of money were made available in 1957, and in the meantime, work continued on the Yellow Book with the information derived from the guests.
So apparently aliens are real and the government is trying to reverse engineer their technology. If you didn't see the House Oversight Committee hearing, 4 witnesses, including a former Navy commander, testified under oath that there is intelligent non-human life out there. They have technology far more advanced than our own, other countries' governments are also aware of this, and there's an arms race trying to reverse engineer their tech. They apparently come from the ocean, and there's even a video from the US Navy encountering one of these UAPs or UFOs. This is obviously crazy, but if you look at some old government documents, it gets even more interesting because there's evidence that shows the government has known about these things for decades. This is an FBI document from 1950, it's on their official .gov website, and it bluntly says that they recovered 3 flying saucers from New Mexico. Each one was piloted by a 3-foot-tall humanoid wearing metallic cloth. There's also Project 1974. This document's also from the 1950s, so the name's a little confusing, but the Air Force was trying to engineer a flying saucer exactly as described in the FBI document. This saucer would be capable of flying at supersonic speeds, way faster than anything we have today. And now when you look at the video from the US Navy, what they saw is exactly what was described in the FBI document, and what the Air Force was trying to engineer or reverse engineer. A saucer shape with a raised center cabin. I can't wait for more information about all this to come out. Let me know what you guys think about all this, and if anything else comes out, I'll update you guys.
What is the most dangerous information that you know?
Oh boy. They're going to hoax an alien threat, and it's all a lie. So we are actually in the last year at the point where they've started on that plan. We have got to intercept this plan and stop it, or if you think 9/11 and the Iraq War was a cluster, this is going to be that 1,000 times worse, that there's a group of people who control this issue that are trying to provoke an interplanetary incident. So the next war, World War III, will be interplanetary. It's a serious group of nut jobs, and they have to be put on a leash and stood down fast and quickly. This group started releasing stuff to the CNN and Washington Post and New York Times. Every bit of information they're putting out has the spin, it's a threat to the national security, our sovereignty has been invaded. It's the kind of brainwashing that's already started to try to convince the public there is an alien threat.
Yeah, I could definitely see them faking an alien attack or an alien invasion. I'm pretty sure, like, they said it was a part of the New World Order to, like, fake some type of alien invasion or something like that.
This shit is getting weird. The Brazilian government just released all of their files on UFOs. It's all in Portuguese, so it's a little bit hard to go through, but there's 900 different photos of UFOs on there. People are hoping these are from the Caleres and Varginha cases, which were some of the most famous cases in Brazil. These are really convincing, especially since these were taken like 30 or 40 years ago, and we definitely didn't have technology like this back then. And the photos get even freakier because there are some over a lake right here where it looks like they're almost falling angels, like these black blobs just over this lake, and there are just so many witnesses to it as well. Brazil has one of the most UFO and alien sightings in the whole entire world, but you never know about it because it's not in the mainstream media. If you guys want to check out the report yourself, you're going to have to make an account on this Brazilian government website. Let me know what you guys think because this is actually crazy.
Brazil just made an absolute boss move in UFO transparency and dropped the receipts on nearly 900 UFO cases. This is huge. So on May 31st, Brazil's National Archives released 893 UFO cases to be exact to the public. And we're talking about sightings from 1952 all the way up to 2023, complete with photos, audio recordings, witness drawings, detailed official reports.
Oh, que porra é essa?
And I killed 2 of them. Yes, they're mortal and they do die. However, in the process, one of them did this. All I remember is that he just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest, and the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish. And burnt my fingers right off of me. And it was some form of electrical force because the kind of like being hit by a lightning bolt burned all my toenails off of me. Completely crispy crittered my left foot. burnt the shoe right off of me. All I remember is the smoking remains, and I'm still conscious, but in and out of, I didn't remember much. And there was a Green Beret that was right behind me that risked his life. In fact, he died. But he risked his life. He shoved me back in the basket and hit the button and took me up. And I wouldn't be alive talking to you today if it wasn't for him. I'm forever indebted. He lost his life. 66 Secret Service agents, Green Berets, Black Berets, crack troops lost their lives because the government, our United States government, lied, did not tell us anything about the alien threat. There's a war underneath there, and I'm talking dead serious. It's been going on since that time. Since late August of 1979, our military, the Russian military, basically the militaries of the world, have been in constant conflict with the outer space alien.
Dude, that one was creepy because as he was explaining the story, you could literally see his fingers cut off. I mean, he was in the military, so that could have been from anything, but his story was kind of convincing. Like, actually, the real question is, why are you trying to kill an alien? And I don't know, bro. Me personally, I'd be terrified if I tried to kill an alien. I feel like I'd kill the alien, then out of nowhere, just 18 of them would just spawn in front of me and just murder me. I don't know, dude. I would not risk it.
Thank you all for watching this here video.